So, as I was scrolling through my phone, I stumbled across this quote that said, "A woman's life is measured not in years, but in seasons of becoming." And I thought, damn, that's so true. Because here's the thing nobody talks about: we're constantly being told we're behind on some invisible timeline. Like, where's your career at 25? Why aren't you married by 30? Kids by 32? And I'm sitting here thinking, who decided life was a race? Today, I want to have a real conversation about life, not the highlight reel version, but the messy, beautiful, complicated reality of what it means to be a woman navigating this world.
You know what's wild? We spend so much time planning our lives that we forget to actually live them. I see it everywhere. Women in their 20s panicking about their 5-year plan. Women in their 30s feeling like they're running out of time. Women in their 40s wondering if they wasted their youth. But here's what I've learned. Life isn't linear. It's not a straight line from point A to point B. It's more like, have you ever watched a river? It curves, it bends. Sometimes it pools in quiet places. Sometimes it rushes forward. That's us. That's our journey. And the pressure we put on ourselves, it's exhausting. We're supposed to be the perfect daughter, the supportive friend, the ambitious career woman, the nurturing partner, maybe the devoted mother, all while looking effortlessly put together and maintaining our mental health. Like, when did we sign up for this impossible job description? Let's talk about this phrase that haunts us, having it all. What does that even mean? Because every time I hear it, I picture this woman juggling flaming torches while riding a unicycle, and honestly, that sounds terrifying, not aspirational. I think we need to redefine what having it all looks like. Maybe it's not about doing everything perfectly. Maybe it's about choosing what matters to you in this season of your life and being okay with letting other things slide. For some of you, this might be your career season. You're climbing that ladder, building your empire, and your social life consists of Netflix and takeout. That's valid. For others, this might be your relationship season. You're investing in love and partnership and building something beautiful with another person. Also valid. And here's the revolutionary thought: these seasons can change. You're not locked into being the career woman or the family woman for life. You can be the woman who spent her 20s traveling, her 30s building a business, and her 40s starting a family. You can be the woman who had kids young and started her dream career at 40. You can be the woman who chose neither traditional path and created something entirely your own. The only person judging your timeline is you, and maybe your Aunt Carol at family gatherings, but we don't listen to Aunt Carol about life choices, do we? Can we talk about friendships for a minute? Because this is something that catches us all off guard. Remember when making friends was as simple as asking someone if they wanted to play at recess? Now it's like, do our schedules align? Do our life stages match? Can we maintain this relationship despite living in different cities and having completely different priorities? I've watched friendships evolve, fade, and sometimes beautifully transform. The friend who was your party buddy in college might not understand your new priority of getting 8 hours of sleep. The friend who you bonded with over being single might feel distant now that one of you is in a serious relationship. And that's okay. It doesn't make anyone the villain. People grow, priorities shift, and sometimes we grow in different directions. The friendships that survive these transitions, they're gold. They're the ones where you can go months without talking and pick up like no time has passed, where you can be completely different people than you were when you met and still feel seen and loved. But also, don't be afraid to make new friends. Yes, it's harder as an adult. Yes, it feels awkward. But that woman in your yoga class who always makes you laugh, that colleague who shares your weird sense of humor, that mom at the playground who seems just as overwhelmed as you, they might become your people. Let's get real about careers for a second. We grew up being told we could be anything, which is beautiful and empowering, but also pressure much? Because what if you don't have a dream job? What if you're just trying to find something that pays the bills and doesn't make you cry in your car every morning? Here's what I wish someone had told me earlier. Your job doesn't have to be your identity. It can be if that's what lights you up, but it can also just be the thing you do to fund the life you want to live. And that's perfectly fine. Some women find their calling at 22 and never look back. I know women who switched careers 3 times before finding their thing. I know women who built successful businesses and then walked away because their priorities changed. I know women who chose stability over passion and are genuinely happy with that choice. The key is being honest with yourself about what you need. Do you need creative fulfillment from your work, or can you find that elsewhere? Do you need flexibility, or do you thrive on structure? Do you want to climb the corporate ladder, or would you rather build something from scratch? And please, please don't let anyone make you feel guilty for your choices. If you want to be ambitious and work 60-hour weeks, own it. If you want work-life balance and leave at 5 p.m. sharp, own that too. Your career should serve your life, not the other way around. Let's normalize talking about mental health, because pretending we're all fine all the time is exhausting and honestly, pretty unrealistic. Life is hard. Being a woman in this world comes with unique challenges. It's okay to not be okay sometimes. Maybe you struggle with anxiety and every decision feels overwhelming. Maybe you deal with depression and some days just getting out of bed is an achievement. Maybe you're going through a particularly tough season and everything feels heavy. First of all, you're not alone. Second, seeking help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Whether that's therapy, medication, support groups, or just being honest with your friends about what you're going through. I think we need to expand our definition of self-care too. It's not just bubble baths and face masks, though those are nice. Sometimes self-care is having the hard conversation. Sometimes it's saying no to commitments that drain you. Sometimes it's asking for help. Sometimes it's letting yourself feel your feelings instead of pushing them down. And boundaries. Oh my God, boundaries. Learning to set them, maintain them, and not feel guilty about them is life-changing. You don't owe everyone access to your time, your energy, or your emotional labor. It's okay to protect your peace. Here's something nobody prepared me for. How much relationships would teach me about myself. Not just romantic relationships, but all of them. Every friendship, every family dynamic, every workplace interaction is like holding up a mirror. In relationships, we discover our patterns. Maybe you're the friend who always says yes until you burn out. Maybe you're the partner who avoids conflict until everything explodes. Maybe you're the daughter who tries to fix everyone else's problems while ignoring your own. These patterns aren't necessarily bad. They often come from beautiful places, like wanting to help others or keep the peace. But awareness is everything. When you start noticing your patterns, you can choose which ones serve you and which ones you want to change. And can we talk about romantic relationships for a hot second? The pressure to find the one is real, but here's what I've learned. The person who is perfect for you at 25 might not be the same person who's perfect for you at 35. And that's not failure, that's growth. Some relationships are meant to last a lifetime. Others are meant to teach us something important and then gracefully end. Both have value. The relationship that didn't work out still taught you what you need, what you won't tolerate, and probably something about yourself you didn't know before. Here's the truth. Most of your life is lived in the messy middle. It's not the highlight moments, the graduations, weddings, promotions, big celebrations. It's the Tuesday afternoons when you're figuring things out. It's the seasons of uncertainty when you don't know what comes next. It's the ordinary days that don't make it to social media. And that's where real life happens, in the in-between moments, in the conversations with friends that last until 2 a.m., in the quiet Sunday mornings when you're just existing, not performing. In the moments when you surprise yourself with your own strength. We're so focused on the destination that we forget to appreciate the journey. But what if the journey is the point? What if all those messy, uncertain, figuring it out moments are actually the most beautiful parts of being human? I'm learning to embrace the questions instead of rushing toward answers. What if not knowing what comes next isn't scary, but exciting? What if being a work in progress isn't something to be ashamed of, but something to celebrate? So here's what I want you to remember. Your life doesn't have to look like anyone else's. You don't have to hit certain milestones by certain ages. You don't have to want the same things as your friends, your family, or the women you see online. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to prioritize your happiness. You're allowed to be ambitious. You're allowed to choose simplicity. You're allowed to be complex and contradictory and beautifully human. Life isn't about getting it right. It's about getting it real. It's about showing up authentically, even when you don't have all the answers. Especially when you don't have all the answers. You're not behind. You're not too much. You're enough. You're exactly where you need to be, learning what you need to learn, becoming who you're meant to become. Thank you for spending time with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this discussion going, because we're all figuring this out together. Don't forget to like this video if it spoke to you, subscribe for more real talk, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.